Santa left a few more gifts under the Christmas tree this year. And of course, that is everybody's favorite thing to receive. We are lucky enough to receive them every week, and that is new comic books. This is the last edition of Pals Pulls for the year,
Oh, okay.
for just
God
for the
damn.
year, just for the year.
Thought I missed a Discord notification or something. All right.
No, oh no, nope, absolutely not. We are very happy to be here with you guys, rocking the day after Christmas. So Merry Christmas. How did you guys make out on Christmas? We've got Marco,
What's up, pals?
Tyler,
Hello.
Christmas was pretty good, man.
Yeah, that's fine.
Good eats every year. Good eats, always good eats.
What's
Oh,
a good
God.
eat that you have at your Christmas?
My mom makes ham.
Mm.
It's like a nice ham, bakes the whole thing, glazes it. What is it? Cloves and stuff every year. I
Nice.
love it. I
That
can't
sounds
wait
good.
for it.
I'm not a big ham guy, but when done well, it's good.
that's a beautiful thing. I actually have been extremely sick, so I didn't get to go to any Christmas
Damn.
stuff, do anything Christmas related. That also means, though, that I was unable to go get my pulls for the week. So
Uh-oh.
for the first time in a long time, I don't actually have physical comics this week, which means we cannot do the stack segment later.
This is gonna
So
skew all the data.
I know, I'm sorry. I wish it wasn't so, trust me, but I just couldn't. I just couldn't make it out. Um, Go ahead, Tyler.
Say for the best if you're sick, stay home, help everyone else out. So appreciate it.
That's true too. That's definitely true, and I wanted to make sure that I could be here. So
And you talk about grubby mitts on comics. If you're knowingly sick going to the shop and
yeah, no, that's
yeah,
actually disgusting. You're
yeah.
you're totally
Just,
right.
just go
Yeah.
in and start
Oh
touching
God.
shit.
Oh my God,
Which now that
Marco.
I say it, it probably happens. Wait, maybe this is how you got sick.
It could
Um,
be, dude. Somebody pointed out in the video that Marco shot of me at my shop. Somebody pointed out that I was grabbing from the front. And that's what happens when you grab from the front. All those mitts, they've been on those comics, man. I might have picked up COVID from there.
You gotta hit it from the back
Oof.
next time.
You are absolutely right. The books, though, that we do have on tap for today, because of course we are here to review comics. We've got
Count them.
six books on tap today. We've got Absolute Wonder Woman #3, Justice League Unlimited #2, Metamorpho #1, Superman 21, Timeslide #1, and Dust to Dust #1. So quite a few #1s on deck. Both the big two really really delivering on
Yeah.
Christmas.
Double dose of Dan Mora.
Yeah.
Yes,
That's a big
absolutely.
Christmas gift. And also, like, how does he do it? It's a Christmas mystery as well, I think.
Christmas miracle. Yes. All right, let's jump into the first book. Oh, before we do that, I've got to say hello to you guys. Hello. Welcome. Whether you are with us live or in the future, thank you for joining us on the day after Christmas. I'm sure a lot of you are suffering from a food coma that you were just getting out of, all that kind of stuff. We've had people sharing on Discord their gifts and their Christmas food and all that. So love to see all those contributions over there. Thank you for being with us. Let's get into our first book, Absolute Wonder Woman. It's written by Kelly Thompson with art by Hayden Sherman, colors by Jordi Belair, letters by Becca Carey. So, Wonder Woman has been the big kaiju battle book, and we start to get a little bit deeper into that. Here, she's battling the TETRACIDE, and she pretty quickly realizes that she might not be equipped for this battle. This might be one of those times where she can't get the job done. But it's not just her life that's at risk, because the TETRACIDE is probably going to kill everybody on Earth if Wonder Woman can't stop it, because it's got this crazy sound it emits that causes everyone to come towards it and basically die. And interspersed with that, we get some more flashback stuff that shows more of the relationship between Wonder Woman and Steve Trevor. Wonder Woman makes a big sacrifice for Steve Trevor, all that good jazz. How'd you guys feel about this one?
This was gonna be this was the one that I expected to be my pick of the week, um, and it didn't meet it, not because this wasn't a good title. This wasn't a good book. I think the issue three maybe is a little harder to kind of get momentum going. Like we're still arming up for this big fight, and so I think the pace is slowed down a little bit. Not to a crawl by any means. You know, we still get action. I do like the flashback that we get with Steve. Um, but I think for this issue, this was very much setting up the big battle to come, and I thought that the things around it were a lot of fun. So the sound, the death by fear, by soul, body, all that kind of thing was interesting, and I'm curious how I'm excited and curious to see how she will overcome this because obviously she will, um, but there's also a little bit of doubt in that because uh, she gave up an arm. What are the stakes? Does she lose a limb? Is this going to be like a big another warrior sacrifice? Because she says, I don't have the ability to beat this. You guys have to start running.
I like that. This Wonder Woman feels vulnerable,
Hmm.
both physically and emotionally. She's like super honest in the series. With like there's no subtext in what she does. She does things because it's the right thing to do. And I liked the slow down nature of this. Like, yeah, there's a big Cloverfield-esque, end of the city, uh, death event happening with this tetracide, and Wonder Woman kind of going in between, fighting it and then going back to like the war room to discuss it. So that gives you your reaction and stuff. I mean, like at one point, Wonder Woman takes a giant axe out of her bag. I'm like, all right, Fury Warrior, I see you. Um, and so it has really good action bits, but I like the introspective bits as well that's in her past. Like, this is a Wonder Woman who saw Steve Trevor at a young age, and she knew she would be the savior of humanity, and like this is her first mission, she says, and what she's willing to do for just one person, lose an entire arm, her dominant arm no less, uh, is I think what Wonder Woman really should be, and that's compassion at any means. I think Kelly Thompson and Hayden Sherman are really showing that here in some really cool ways. Because, like, yeah, she still has, a magic arm that she could bring back, but she also has a Furiosa metal arm, Uh,
Yeah.
and I don't know, I just really like it. And the thing that also jumps out to me in this is the panel layout by Hayden Sherman. I'm more and more hyper aware of it every time.
Hmm.
In this issue, a lot of the panels almost felt like armor or like plates of armor. Like they're kind of shaped like her tiara in a bit, or like some of the runes on her tattoos and her magical arm. Like there's a lot of curves and crescents and sharp points to a lot of the paneling in this, which I thought was really good. It was almost like her arming herself up for this fight within the paneling itself, which I thought was expertly done. There's a lot of, and we'll probably get into the Hayden artwork in a little bit, but man, the more and more I read this, the more I like it, which is saying something because I loved issue one, but it's showing what it has to keep going, and I'm really enjoying it.
Just to the point on the compassion piece, I wonder if this Wonder Woman will be compassionate to a fault. Like, will she continue to make these huge sacrifices that put her in harm's way? And obviously, that's like the narrative of superheroics. But will she have to pay consequences, extreme consequences, in this world?
Yeah, once she runs out of too many spoons, like what does she do when she can't give enough of herself anymore? That's yeah,
Right.
which is not something I can really think about happening in comics. It's Superman has a never-ending supply of resources.
Batman does.
Yeah, well, yeah, obviously he's just rich.
Um, I really like this issue. I think Absolute Wonder Woman has delivered each and every time it's been at bat, but it still just feels painfully slow to me, and it's kind of starting to grate on me. There's a lot of stuff being juggled and a lot of time being spent with things, which is good because it allows you to sort of understand where she's coming from, with the Steve Trevor angle. I think part of it is that I really dislike Steve Trevor as a character. I don't think he's interesting. And so watching her like go to bat for him and cut her arm off for him is like, whatever. I there is a good point made about like this is her perceived responsibility to humanity. But because it's attached to Steve Trevor, a character who I already don't like, makes it hard for me to dive into that. And that's a part of the problem with this book, is that the characters so far essentially feel the same. So I'm carrying in all my baggage with those characters, and I don't want to do that. Whereas with like Absolute Batman, I don't really know everything about who these people are. And here it feels like they're just the same. So that's kind of rubbing me the wrong way. We also got introduced to Barbara Minerva here.
Yeah.
And it's one of those things where it's like, if you remove our knowledge of the characters beforehand and her becoming Cheetah and everything like that, who cares? Like there's this massive tetracide monster. It's a really big problem. I don't know that I care to see that. It feels more like the kind of thing that should be dealt with or done after the fact.
I can see that. And then also the fact that you kind of get this sense of ego because she makes the comment of like, "Oh, I'm in it. I'm in the myth. I'm part of this." And so she feels obligated to kind of enter, and I think there's a bit of dissonance to that. Like there was probably 3 pages, maybe 2 pages that without her could have been cut out for more story.
See, I liked her addition to it. I thought it had a purpose too, in so much that like she's the one that tells Wonder Woman the words Wonder Woman, and like this is the myth of the Wonder Woman that you can be, and then Diana reiterates that when she's on TV. So it's almost like her human cipher into the world. I mean, it's not, we don't have that much time with Barbara in this, but it feels like her cipher into what this humanity is. And hopefully we get more of that. And I like that they're showing, her in this, because one of my issues with Wonder Woman constantly is that she doesn't have a steady supporting cast. Every time somebody is on the book, they give her a new ass supporting cast. Where I would like a more solidified one of who should be here. So I'm okay with them introducing Barbara this early. But yeah, it didn't bother me too much. Sean, do you mind if I ask a question about your Steve Trevor bit?
Yeah, please.
Do you think your opinion on this Steve Trevor comes from not liking Steve Trevor in general?
Yeah,
Okay.
I feel like I said as much. Absolutely.
Okay. Yeah, because I feel like this one is useless. like physically. Like our mainline Steve Trevor is a war hero. He's the best soldier we could have ever gotten. He's Captain America without the super soldier serum. This one seems scrawny and like he just was a guy.
And I feel like, yeah, that's like what you're supposed to get out of it, but I don't know that that's a great portrayal of Steve. Like it's a different Steve Trevor. I'll give you that, but I don't know to what degree that means that's going to play into the future. Like, is this just a connecting piece, and he's in the military, and we don't even get the romance aspect of it, or she just gets an initial flavor for who this man is, what men are, and what the Earth is through him, and then she goes on and does her own thing. So I'm feeling more and more like he's becoming less and less of an actual character in the grand scheme of all of this.
He feels like a representation of just what humanity is. Like him being a normal guy in this series means that like she would do this for anyone. Like there's nothing inherently special about this Steve. Besides the fact that he showed up on, wherever the hell Diana and Cersei were.
Hell.
Well, yeah. And like she would just do this for anybody, and showing Steve be this scrawny pre-soldier serum Captain America instead is indicative of more of Wonder Woman's compassion. Like in the main line, she does because Steve Trevor is like this, it's a mystery to her. She looks at him, she's doting over him in some of the early incarnations of it. Whereas this one is just like a dude, but she still sacrifices for just Joe Schmo.
I just don't see it as different. I mean, look at the way that Batman comes across Alfred in mainline versus absolute. Look at how Superman and Lois interact from mainline to absolute. There's not, I just can't be convinced that this is materially different. Steve ends up where she's at. She takes care of him. She sacrifices for him. He's the first man she meets. It's the exact same thing.
It
That kind of bothers me. Go ahead, Marco.
if it dies there, if that's where it ends, I guess it doesn't really affect the perception therein, but I think that begins to transform the book a bit more for me because then she isn't tied to this man.
Yeah, like I don't, if he's going to be a supporting character, that's totally cool. I just don't think the romance between them is interesting. And I kind of want to see her go in a different direction, whether it's with no one or just with someone else.
Yeah.
Man, woman, yeah, I don't care. Just not Steve. But that being said, I did find a lot to enjoy. I don't think this was a bad issue by any means. Like the general idea of Wonder Woman's sacrifice is very powerful. Um, it's crazy that she just chose to cut her arm off like that. Like I can't even imagine the will and determination that it would take. And the way that she describes what the tetracide does, that was crazy. And the way that
Yeah.
that was shown visually by Sherman, it's presented like what's the
The
word?
Greek pottery.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
Oh,
exactly.
yeah, yeah.
I loved it. It
Uh,
was like the opening bits from the Hercules animated movie. You know.
That's what it made
Yeah.
me think about. Yes, exactly. I thought that looked really sick. And that's to say nothing of how beautiful his whole issue is on the part of Hayden Sherman. I remain very impressed by the panel layouts that they choose.
yeah. All in all, I think the way that Hayden's navigating the story, it continues to be really smooth between where your eye is following the emotion in certain scenes, like the moment where she cuts her arm off, and it just goes down to this small panel at the end, and they're just hugging after. So she's there crying, and then the next scene they're just doing spells, they're just doing magic. They've worked through it. It's real good. Real emotive.
There's a technique I noticed in this issue specifically that they do. Sherman does is almost like a fisheye. There's that one with Barbara looking up, and you see her, and it's like almost like a wide angle lens. If it was photography or video doing this, where she's a little bulbous in the middle, it's like a fisheye effect, but just to show width in a small spot, like a small area. And they do that a couple times with Wonder Woman as well. I think it's really interesting because it's something you see in film, but I don't really think about in comics
Mm.
because
Oh,
it's a result of the lens, whereas it is an artistic choice to draw it that way in this. That is really interesting because like you can draw anything into any space that you want, but it's almost being framed in a way as if it was on a wide angle lens. I don't know. It is not something I've seen before, and it's really bugging me out in a good way.
yeah. Now that you call it out, I see it in a couple spots. There's that
Yeah.
moment. There's a moment farther down where after we see the history of the Tetracide, she's in the war room and it kind of elongates to follow the curvature of the panel as well. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
good.
Yeah, all in all, I think this is a really strong comic. Not my pick of the week, so I was definitely wrong on that. But
Yeah.
It's
Pull though.
pull,
Yeah.
definite,
Yeah.
yeah, definite pull. I enjoyed it. I am anxious though. I'm now getting antsy to move forward.
Hopefully next issue is literally just all fight. We get to a point of resolution, and then the last issue of this arc is
Like a denouement
a
of
settling
that.
down,
Yeah.
and then into the next.
Easy pull for me. Almost my pick, but not quite.
Hmm. Yeah, yeah, I hear that. The poll is up for this book, so let us know your thoughts. Where do you land? Did you pull, pass? Did you buy it at all? Vote and let us know. I've got some information to share about this Saturday. We are doing our Pallies event. This is our award show where we give away the most important awards across the internet. There is no award show more important to comics than the Pallies.
That's right. It's Harvey Eisner Pallies.
There you go. There you go. And we're going to be presenting that to you guys Saturday at 10:15 a.m. Eastern. Not only are we going to reveal things like, best writer of the year, best book of the year, we're also going to reveal things like pal of the year. We're going to reveal things like moment of the year, Comics Pals moment of the year. We're going to let you guys vote on a lot of that. There's going to be a lot of interaction between us and you, poll wise. The Pallies are not complete without you guys. In addition to all of that, we are also going to reveal the winners and losers of our annual game. The year guessing game. I can't think of what we call it.
Predictions.
Thank you. Wow.
Yeah.
The predictions results, we have those, and we're going to be sharing them with you Saturday. So we've got a fun show planned, I think, and it should be a great time.
I am not confident in my predictions.
Same.
What's the opposite of confident?
In confidence.
Sure. There we go. Great audio.
All right. Yeah, so I hope to see you guys there for that. Should be a great time. It is still the holiday season. Patreon.com/thecomicspals is the greatest way to give a gift to the pals if you are so inclined. Thank you to everybody that is here right now. Smash the like button if you enjoy what we do. We appreciate you guys so much. Let's finish the year out really strong, okay? Let's finish it out strong this Saturday. Let's finish it out strong with the book club on Tuesday. East of West book club. I have fucking...
On Monday, by the way.
Monday. Yes, Monday. I have 5...
Count them.
Right? I have 5 volumes.
Oh damn!
He got them in
East of West.
the suspicious backpack that you see on the subway.
Yeah, you see a backpack like that on the subway, you run.
Yeah. Trade like paperbacks.
Yep.
Nice.
I had to get them that way because collected, I just couldn't find them.
Yeah, the hardcover, the one that I like, the deluxe hardcover format that Image puts out, is a little tricky to get for this. And the compendium doesn't come out till like April of next year, which I will be getting the compendium.
Oh, okay.
That is on my thing. Well, depends on when I finish this, if I like it enough. But it's a good way of getting it.
I was gonna say that's a pretty big endorsement if you're secure on getting it at this point.
I can't say how I feel about it yet.
There you go.
Yeah.
I'm gonna end this poll here. Let's see what you guys are saying. 54% say pull, 35% say pick of the week, 6% say pass, 3% say didn't buy/read. Okay.
35% for pick of the week is a pretty big percentage.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Real good.
So.
Third.
I mean, I teach their own, but I have a pretty hard time with the idea that this isn't a pull or at least a pull.
Yeah. Agreed. I mean, half of it is a pull, at least.
You mean the art half? Or
No, I'm saying half, like 54%. Half.
Oh, yeah, right. Yeah, for sure. Let's say hi to a few people in the chat before we move on to the next book. What's up, Dan Trudeau? Says happy Boxing Day to all who celebrate. Look, I'm a big fan of MMA. Boxing, I'm not that into, so I'm not sure what you're referencing.
Yeah, this day was ruined after that Jake Paul fight.
Oh, yep. That was an embarrassment to the sport. Absolutely.
I would prefer if this is what Boxing Day was actually about.
The day that boxing died.
I genuinely don't have any fucking clue what it's about. So,
isn't it like you're getting rid of all the boxes from Christmas in the UK? It's like they put all the boxes out. It's like a recycling day. I could be talking out of my American ass right now.
Hey, Hecatron, what's up? Luna, Jay Sage, good to see you always. Comic Boom. Comic Boom. Check the channel out, guys. Comic Boom's been a long time supporter of us. Venom Mark says,
Hey.
hope you had a wonderful Christmas. Right back at you, Venom. Renzart, hi guys. First time catching the stream. Appreciate watching a channel that goes deep diving into the material and having insightful discussions. Hey, thank you so much, brother or sister. We do it for you. So thank you for enjoying it. Julia Raul, good to see you. Banksy Maine, what's up? James Jones, my guy. Aaron Ruiz is in the chat. Steve Canaris. Steve Canaris. Steve Canaris, can I reveal what you did for me later in the show? Because I haven't even looked and I could just have a genuine reaction right here because I have no idea. So I would love to get into that if we can.
Get into it.
We'll see. Rami Darwish, what's up, Rami? Always here supporting us. It's good to see all you people. I've been sick as a dog, and it feels good to be among my people. It feels healing for me. Let's get into the next book. Let's talk about Justice League Unlimited, #2. Written by Mark Waid with art by Dan Mora, Tamra Bonvillain on colors, Ariana Mayer on the letters. The parademons are running amok. They're all over the place. And our little ragtag group of Justice Leaguers has to take them down. That's mostly what's going on here. There is a fun little team up between, she's Captain Marvel officially, right?
Yeah, Mary
Yeah.
Marvel is
Mary
Mary.
Marvel. Yeah.
Yeah, because wait, no, isn't Captain Marvel still around?
He was flying
Yeah,
around.
he's got
was he
his,
not?
he's back around. He's back around. He's
Yeah.
got his own.
But
book
I
right
guess
now.
I guess what I'm asking is like, is that her name or is she Mary Marvel?
She's Mary Marvel.
I think she's just Mary Marvel.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
DC not
So
as
we-
progressive as Marvel apparently.
Oh, I thought there was a. It doesn't matter. It's okay.
I think it was when he was depowered. She took over.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Fair enough. But I think the crux of this issue is the parademon encounter between Martian Manhunter, this other dude who I don't think I've ever seen before in a
Doctor
comic.
Occult.
I love Doctor Occult.
Yo,
You
what
have
a-
a familiarity with him?
yeah.
Oh,
He's been in a lot of Justice League Dark stuff and like ancillary stuff. What was it? The Zatanna School book. What was that book, Marco? Remember
Zatanna
the
School-
Mystic U? Do you remember Mystic U? Great DC
God.
book.
I only know him from the Trenchcoat Brigade, Stranger, Mr. E, Constantine, all those guys.
Yeah, yeah. Once I saw him pop out of that boom tube, I'm like, yo, it really is everyone.
Yeah, same. I
That-
thought
that-
like, what?
Mark
What's he
Waid
doing
put
here?
his stamp down issue 2 saying literally everyone. Anyone who is marginally good Justice League member. It's like Martian Manhunter, Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman, guy in a trench coat with a little kaleidoscope.
And like, really, Sean? He's just a dude. He's like
literally
a dude
just
that
a
does
dude,
magic.
yeah.
but the funniest thing is that Tyler's description is already Constantine. Like
Yes.
they went to the next guy down who fits that same description.
It's pulp Constantine. It's sort
yes.
of. Yeah, it's
Exactly.
like early DC too. Well, I'm not even sure he was originally published under DC when he first started.
Published by National Comics.
Yeah.
And Centaur as an anthology in 1935.
Wow. Well, I didn't know anything about him, but I actually kind of liked him from this for whatever reason. So fair play.
He's an asshole.
Yeah.
but he's like a good asshole. You know, it's like somebody who won't sugarcoat shit for you, and you
Right.
appreciate him for it. Yeah.
What else is he gonna be? Like, look where he's at. Look what he has. You know, like you got to provide something.
And like he loses function with one arm because he has to hold his medallion up constantly.
Oh my goodness. This was my pick of the week.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, this was my pick of the week, and it's because this issue made me care about what is going on with Martian Manhunter. The parademon that can talk, I've never seen that before, and I thought that was really cool. The fact that these parademons are lost without Darkseid, and that this parademon was doing all this, kidnapping kids and all this nasty shit, just to get back in Darkseid's good graces, not knowing that Darkseid is dead. And Martian Manhunter just goes ballistic on him after revealing that he lost his powers. He lost his telepathy.
He also lost sight. It seems like, right? Doesn't he say he lost his ocular?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
like, dude is fucked up right now.
And hiding it, feeling like embarrassed about it. It's interesting that that's the angle with it. Um, I I almost didn't buy it because I'm like, why don't you just surely you're hiding something, but also can't this now newly formed all people of the Justice League help you?
Yes. And
Well,
those are the things I'm trying not to think about.
Okay, okay,
here's the
fair.
thing, because there's a bit in here where Batman is doing Batman shit and telling people where to go. And he's like, all right, I need detective people to go look for these kids. Dr. Occult, you in your trench coat, and Martian Manhunter go. And then Martian Manhunter's like, well, what did you want? And then Batman cuts him off, saying, no, you fucking go that way. He didn't say that, but he was like aggressive, kind of a real douche about it, which kind of is. Um,
Yeah.
but I like that one bit, that quick beat, because it showed, it hinted immediately like something's wrong with Martian Manhunter, because that is not the dynamic you're used to seeing. Martian Manhunter is usually the guy, devising things, telling people where to go. Even
Mm.
Batman in some places. So the power dynamic was off from the get right there, and I was like, "Ooh, something's wrong." And if I felt that, I can imagine what he is feeling, Martian Manhunter is feeling. So like, even though yes, just talk it out should be the solution to any interpersonal superhero struggle. Hello, Civil War. Um, I can sort of understand why he kept it quiet. Oh, your mic, Sean.
You're muted.
I get why he kept it quiet. I just feel like, I don't know. It's one of those things where there's definitely a solution to this that doesn't necessarily need to involve him running away. But I thought the moment itself had so much drama and intensity of emotion. He's beating up a parademon. It's not like he's beating up a common criminal, right? So I almost even feel like the Justice League's reaction is weird
Yep.
to seeing what he was doing. Like, isn't this what we're here to do? Is beat their ass? And wasn't this dude turning children into demons or whatever the hell? Like, we should kill this guy anyway. But they're shocked because Martian Manhunter's presented as like the almost moral authority because he's not from Earth. And I really like that idea, but I never really see it used interestingly, and I thought it was here. So I really enjoyed the way that this was done. By the time this issue was over, I was like, no, I want more. Like it just breezed by.
And then like the Dan Mora art is insane on it.
Yeah.
There's that one page, and I think I pulled it for the Pals preview stream that we put out on Monday, of Blue Beetle slowly getting,
Pulled away.
taken into the jungle, and it slowly gets blacker and blacker and blacker, and then it's like a full blackout in the bottom panel. Dan Mora needs to stop. Like this is some of the most crisp superhero artwork and like storytelling too that I've seen in a long time. Like this dude was born for this.
The whole parademon fight was the coolest part. That action, the transformation, the the positioning of even like the way that the parademon itself was looking at both the heroes when he's just like the children, a bargaining tool, and then it's just like half a face, purple, green, colors are going crazy in this also.
Mm.
Yeah, man, phenomenal stuff. And then uh the big how dare you from Martian Manhunter pushing him into like this cavern even further. It was punches. Good shit.
One of the things I really liked about the Krakoan era of X-Men was the mutant power circuits they would make. Like certain mutant powers that were complementary to each other. And I feel like in a way, Mark Waid's doing that in this. There's that bit with Wonder Woman and Mary Marvel. He sends, they get sent out to do their own thing. and there's like a complementary thing where like Mary gets her powers from Roman gods, and Wonder Woman gets them from Greek gods. And there's like that realization between the two of them and how they came up with the same idea because they're powered by what we understand as the same god, just in different versions, even though it's not there. And then like Black Lightning shows up to team up with Mary Marvel's power set to have an even bigger effect. And like it just works so well that it's like, why hasn't this been done before?
Yeah, I mean, it was just lightning on lightning, right?
I mean, sure, but yeah.
I think it could get more interesting, and I would like to see Mark Waid push it if he can. If you're gonna do these weird team ups and funky team ups, it'd be cool to see there be a personality reason, but also potentially a power set reason. I
Yeah,
think it would be cool for him to go to that well.
Well,
strategic.
then also I think that the Martian Manhunter and Doctor Occult team up made a lot of sense because Doctor Occult, in a way, it's putting the human mirror to Martian Manhunter in his weakened state. You know, because he's a lot like John Jones, and Martian Manhunter has to see that and talk to that person.
Mhm.
Both fit like even visually look similar to him. And there's that one bit where you see them together, but then you see like the image of John Jones between them as they're talking about, John Jones was just a detective like Doctor Occult who did good no matter what. Uh, I thought that was great. There's like good pairings here that like just don't like on paper. I'd be like, what the hell are you doing putting Doctor Occult on Justice League team? But like it makes sense. It just works because Mark Waid is an encyclopedia for DC Comics.
I thought of it as like he was making that connection work because he needed two like trackers on the team. One magical, one that was more like, alien based, can do tech and all that kind of thing, but then was able from that to draw story.
Sure, yeah, I don't know what came first, chicken or the parademon,
Sure,
but
sure.
yeah.
Is there anything that Batman does that's not just cool as shit? Like when he pops out and he's bloody and the moon is behind him and Superman's like, Batman, what happened to you? Batman's like, there was an attack and it was just, we fought. And that's not the worst thing going on right now. And he's got a bloody hand and he's telling people where to go. Batman is a beast. Like, let's not forget, he is a human being. He is a guy.
And still perfect aim with his batarang right after that too.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Blue Beetle looked like he just went 12 rounds with the Macho Man. Uh
It, it looks like he fought his box office numbers.
Look at this guy. Look at him. Like if you go back to those initial pages, my man is in danger. They pulled him in. Presumably Batman saved him from that. Right?
No, because he says that he's still missing.
He got
Okay.
saved towards the end after Martian Manhunter beat up the talking parademon.
Right.
I guess he was there. They considered him a kid too because they just brought him to the kids table. I guess.
Wait, did they save him?
Yeah, they say it. They don't show it for some reason, but they do say it. Like, oh, Blue Beetle was recovered, and so were the kids.
Oh, okay.
I love this issue. I I really don't have anything to criticize. Like I could say I want us to get more towards whatever the point of this book is going to be, but I think we're seeing that stuff. Like the parademons being crazed because of the death of Darkseid seems like a point. Like there's a point to that. So setting it up now is fine because I presume that it matters. So I have no issue with that. Parademons, who gives a fuck about parademons? Mark Waid made me care about one parademon and one Martian Manhunter.
And what I also find pretty impressive about this, because not only did that happen, they still give a couple pages to talk about that mystery that happened in issue 1 with the Inferno. They they do like a backdoor pilot for the Atom Project in the middle of this book. That like didn't bother me. Like it just felt like a part of the book, even though that's going to launch a whole nother series. So like this book is doing like line wide busy work at the same time.
Yeah.
And it's still a really, really damn good comic book. It's super impressive.
Checking all the boxes, fitting everything it needs to. Like, not pick of the week, but on probably a lighter week, it could have been.
It's my pick of the week. I love this. I thought this was really, really strong. And any like minor question marks I had in my mind about this book, they're getting erased issue by issue. So I'm really pleased with what we're getting. It's good stuff.
Easy pull for me. Not my pick of the week, but definitely a pull.
Gosh, I can't wait to hear what. Well, I have a sneaking suspicion.
I was literally thinking that phrase.
Were you, my
I
boy?
was.
Okay, let me get this poll up right here real quick because I do want to know what you guys are feeling about Justice League this week. So the poll is up. Make sure you guys vote. It's right there on the live chat there. So just go ahead and vote. Banksy Main says we got a glimpse of the Parademons acting weird in New Gods. Yes, we did,
Yeah.
and I love that synergy.
And Dan Trudeau, speaking the truth here, saying Doctor Occult is a pre-action comics #1 character, also created by Siegel and Schuster.
Yes.
Huh.
Yep. And National Comics turned out to be DC, the predecessor to DC
Yeah.
Comics.
Okay, all right. Thank you for that. Kazbot says I got a credit card for my comic shop for Christmas. That's a beautiful thing. Love that.
Whoa.
Hell yeah, dude.
Put all your books on that.
Yeah, anybody get any cool comic stuff? I want to hear about it. What'd you guys get?
Oh, I got my little toy.
Yeah, let's see it.
A little,
It
a little
won't show up.
swamp
Yeah, you got to bring it up. There you go.
little action figure
Nice.
from the '90s TV show, cartoon.
Why
Wait,
is he red?
There were two versions that came out, a green one, and I think this is a miss. Like came out as like a miscoloring, but it still got produced.
Was that the one that had the Swamp Thing theme song that sounded like Wild Thing?
Swamp Thing,
Yeah.
dun, dun. Yeah.
Julia Raul says this Wade comic reminds me of a continuation of the animated series. I think it's pretty obvious that, Wade and Mora wanted to bring those sensibilities to the book. I mean, when you look at the title page, it's, pretty clear where that came from, right?
And even like the idea of like Marsh Manhunter as like the heart of it and being one of the main drama points of this, like that's a JLU character through and through.
Yeah, so I think if that is your Justice League, this will work for you. If you just like good comics, it'll work for you. There's really nothing bad here.
I don't know who I wouldn't recommend this to. Like it's super accessible in the best ways possible.
Yeah. Near, what's up, Near? Happy birthday, happy belated, dude. Near's birthday's on Christmas Day, so now we understand why that day is important. Near says bought a bunch of bags and boards and got some comics, but just realized I ran out of room in my short box. So I got to get that soon. Isn't that the way of the comic book fan who collects physically? There's always something you're missing.
Gaps.
One of the
Gaps.
cool things though, like that in this predicament is that a lot of the publishers put out, I think Marvel and DC put out themed short boxes now, because I have a whole bunch of them. Or like I have like a Civil War short box, I have a Batman short box, and they're like branded with it all on they're not just plain white ones. So if there is a new book out, there's probably a short box you can get of it.
Like not of like a short box that has the branding, but is also collected of that run. Rather, it's just the
It's just
actual
the box.
cardboard.
You're just getting the
Okay.
cardboard. Yeah,
Gotcha,
yeah,
gotcha.
you're just getting good looking cardboard instead of plain white cardboard.
Okay.
Yeah,
got
no,
it.
they're not selling it in series don't last that long anymore.
Fair. Yeah,
Yeah.
fair. Except that one with all the tie-ins, maybe.
Yeah, maybe.
Yep, Dan Trudeau said it. There's always something you're missing. Yeah, money, time, bags, boards. It's always some shit, right?
Near says there's an
Oh.
ultimate short box he's been eyeing at. See, I think I've seen that one. Yeah.
Uncanny Suit says every month we get closer to the pals doing a Justice League Unlimited show retrospective, and I'm here for it. Well, Uncanny Suit, what have I told you that I have never watched Justice League Unlimited?
Same.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I've maybe seen an episode here and there during syndication and just watching Saturday morning cartoons, but I've never watched it.
What? That's bonkers. That's my Green Lantern.
Huh. Wonder if it's an
Jon
age
Stewart.
thing.
Yeah, because of that show.
There are a lot of people who say that. That is why I think that's why Jon Stewart has the popularity that he has. It certainly isn't because the comics have, until more recently, tried to really big him up. I think that show did a lot for that character. Um, Shahid Bashir asks a great question. Do you need to read All In to read this? No, I do not believe you do. I think that you can start from Justice League #1. Mark Waid is extremely talented and he provides you with the critical information. Now, will it hit harder if you read it? Yes. I would encourage you to, but you do not have to. You don't let that dissuade you from picking this up. Whoa. Wow. Houston Murphy with what unbelievable a $100 super chat bomb. This is their first super chat on a live stream. That is incredible, Houston Murphy. And that's a name I've never even seen here before. Thank you so much.
Just
Please
dropping
say
bombs.
hello in
Yeah.
the chat.
Thank
Let's
you.
talk to you.
What's up?
Yeah, thank you.
for being a pal.
Uncanny Suit says Houston is a legend. That is a legendary act.
Yo,
100%.
legs in the chat.
Somebody tell me, since you guys are criticizing our lack of watching Justice League Unlimited, tell me what five. Well, five might be a lot. I doubt you just have 5 episodes in your mind. But like, okay, the 1 or 2 or whatever episodes you really think I should watch. Since I'm sick, I will watch at least 1 episode.
The two-parter of where they get these like brain like mini Starros attached to the faces, and they're trying to figure out who is the lead Starro to try to basically defeat them and not be under the control of this thing. Real fun.
I don't like Starro.
Oh, the Static Shock crossover.
Ooh.
There was one with the Rogues, right? Wasn't there one with the Flash Rogues?
I think so.
Man, I'm looking at like some of the list of like best episodes, and like I've not watched any of this. At least any of these best episodes. So, which is funny because like I've watched the Batman animated series, like not Batman and Robin, but like Batman animated series, an uncounted amount of times.
That one is I've never seen in full.
Huh.
I've seen episodes.
We need to do a mind meld so we can do this quickly.
Yeah. Oh
What?
yeah, Better World. Damn.
Houston says, "Hey guys, been listening to the past shows recently. This is my first time catching you live. Well, brother, you really know how to make an entrance. Thank you so much. That is an incredibly generous gift. Really appreciate you."
Yeah, thank
Wait.
you a lot.
Dan says that's Batman Beyond. Am I just remembering that? I could have sworn there was another one where Superman and the rest of the team is also there.
Bro was thinking about the wrong show the entire time. Have you watched JLU, Marco? I think Cale is the one who's watched JLU. He's talked about it before. Right?
Yeah, I feel like I've definitely heard him talk about it. Venom Mark says, "I got a couple Omnis, some volume short boxes. The first 5 DC finest books and books on comic book scripting. But man, I hate that I'm running out of shelf space. Don't we all, brother? You trying to write comics, bro? Is that what you're getting into?"
Yeah, throw what books you got in the chat there for the scripting.
Yeah.
I have a couple. I have some recommendations if it's not in there.
Yeah. All right. Close the poll for Justice League 2. Poll 58%. Didn't buy/read is 16%. Pick of the week is 13%. Pass is 11%.
Wow.
You gonna pass on the league?
Damn. Pass on you.
The league's not passing on anyone either with Dr. Occult being on the team.
Everybody got that. Everybody got that card. Dude,
Dude.
passing him out.
I'm in the fucking league, bro.
Yeah, do you feel worse now that you saw Dr. Occult? Like, it's like, oh, they're letting anybody in here. I'm not special. Shit.
You know what? Yeah, actually, my membership means less now that I know that dude is in the team.
Yo, you get a league membership card with your cup of coffee from Dunkin' Donuts, dude.
There is so Mystic U was a DC book they came out with, where it was essentially Hogwarts in the DC universe, and he was one of the teachers. He was one of the professors, along with like Zatanna was on the team. It's like what Strange Academy was, but this was before Strange Academy.
Hmm.
I'd recommend it. There's some real good Doctor Occult in that.
Sean, I've been lying to you seemingly. Chad is saying that I've been bigging up the according to Banksy Main, Dan Marco, bigging up JLU, but citing multiple Batman Beyond episodes.
Marco the Fraud.
Yo, Julia L says, Marco, you just talked about Batman Beyond intro to the Justice League in season 3. Oh, damn, of Batman Beyond. Fuck.
Bro is a fake fan.
Yo, they pulled your card,
They
bro.
really did. Hold up a second.
I mean,
See?
I was a little suspect at Marco knowing something before you and I would.
Oh my god, that's funny. Okay. Oh my god. Let's get into Metamorpho number 1. This is Al Ewing's Christmas gift to us all. We just had him on the show a couple weeks ago. Tremendous talent, and he talked about this book at length. This is with art by Steve Lieber, colors by Lee Lowridge, Ferran Delgado on the letters. I have no familiarity with Metamorpho. Didn't know what this was going to be coming into it. It immediately gets into Metamorpho versus this character called Mr. 3. I couldn't tell you if this is a character that has already existed, if this is a new character. I have no idea. But really the entire issue is just their battle, and it's Mr. 3 using his Orb of Ra powers and his Metamorphosis powers himself to battle Metamorpho, and really them going back and forth. It's really interesting, and I really liked the throwback vibe of the book. I like that part of it a lot. I definitely need to see more, but I anticipate that you guys liked this quite a bit.
This was my pick of the week.
Yeah.
I loved how goofy and dumb this was in the best way possible. I love Metamorpho. The Terrifics of Jeff Lemire, great book. And that has a lot of the dynamics here because Metamorpho is kind of the anchor there. Metamorpho, Sapphire, Simon Stagg, and I always forget the caveman's name. Java, yeah. They're kind of there because the team is based in Stag Industries. So I got introduced in there. Then I remember reading Neil Gaiman and Mike Allred's Metamorpho in Wednesday Comics, which is a great book if you can find it. They did the Metamorpho book in that, although canceled. But I liked how this really felt like a Saturday morning cartoon show. Like, I know this is like, oh, Al Ewing is finally at DC. He's gonna, blow our minds like he has at Marvel, for years. No, but I don't mean that as a derogatory thing. Like, this is like just a sheer love for a character and a love for the storytelling trappings of that kind of character, and I think it's just expertly done here. The bits where Metamorpho gets to creatively come up with solutions to problems in the most Saturday morning cartoon show way ever, where it's almost informal, like no, not informal, like it you can learn from it, like, oh, I didn't know that's how you create a plasma. Cool. I like that about Metamorpho. I think the Steve Lieber art is perfect for what this character is, because Metamorpho could be anything. But the bits where he like turned into, like, I think it was like Sirius or one of those
Cesium?
Cesium, yeah. I don't know. You could totally have lied to me just now, and I would have believed you.
No, it's definitely it.
And there's like a quick shot of the chemical element from the table of elements that pops up right below him.
Yeah,
it's just goofy and it's fun, and all these characters are. It almost feels like a Hanna-Barbera show. Which is my sweet spot. That's what I love, and that's what I liked about this comic a lot. And I think the addition of Element Woman, as now talked about it when he was on the show, as this mirror to Rex, where Rex is always trying to find a cure. Like, even though he's this globe-trotting superhero, everyone loves him, he doesn't want to be a monster. And Element Woman is now saying, you can do all that and still love who you are. You don't actually want to cure yourself. You like who you are, and you can learn to like it. I like how that is being set up as a almost a foil to Sapphire, who is the most like daddy's girl. She's never really a damsel in distress. She's always in distress, but she can kind of fight for herself. Yeah, I had a lot of fun with this. This is exactly what I wanted out of the Metamorpho book.
This is also my pick of the week. To all the points that Tyler said, but I think also the interesting part for me was that Metamorpho feels whimsical. He doesn't care
Yeah.
for the cure really, and Stag has the Orb of Ra. Like, there's a caption box that says carved from the same mystery meteoroid that gave Metamorpho his powers. The orb is the only thing that can take them away. Like, there's an angle there. There's a potential to remove his powers, but neither Stag seems interested for business reasons, and Metamorpho for the fact that he gets to live this, freak lifestyle, this lavish lifestyle, this absurd lifestyle, and he's okay with that. So he's willing to sacrifice his uh, humanity for the sake of these adventures and seemingly for the sake of this relationship. And I like that Element Woman has come in and is going to potentially is pulling a twist to that. There's an allure for her, in the same way where it's like a Shrek thing. This is where my mind went to Shrek, where Princess Fiona,
I get it.
like leans into it, and
Yeah, actually, that's a great,
uh,
great example. Yeah,
and so I like I like that he's getting pulled in a few different places, and now it's up to him to make the choices, and Al is going to guide us through those choices.
Yeah, I had a lot of fun reading this book. It was kind of weird because I wasn't sure like how exactly to feel, and you guys know that goofy stuff is generally not my bag. I like things to be a little more serious.
yeah. I'm surprised I'm still on the
And
show.
sorry?
So I'm surprised I'm still on the show.
And but that being said, I don't think it was like it was goofy and it was fun and it was whimsical, but I don't think that it was only those things. I do feel like there's heart here. Like seeing Metamorpho just like in that mush pile like that. I don't know if it was intended, but I looked at that and I was like, damn, that's gotta suck. Like I felt bad for him.
I looked at that and I was like, why is his skull still solid? I was starting questioning the physics of it all. But yeah, I get that because like even though this book's goofy, it's not, jokes a minute.
Yeah.
I like Mark Russell's writing, but it's not Mark Russell. Mark
Right.
Russell would be, there'd be punchlines everywhere. It's goofy in the situational aspect of things. And the solutions and having to come up with it and some of the dynamics, but there's not jokes everywhere.
Yeah, the dynamics in particular really like hit me. There was moments where Metamorpho was about to run out, with his graphite skates, and she goes over, Rex, wait, and Java's there, next to Sapphire. He's right, Sapphire. Think of your millions of fans. What would we do without you? And it's just like it's silly. It's a little
Mm.
reverent.
And is that the same panel where Java does a double take and you see it in the art? Because that jumped out to me too. There was one where Java like looks both ways, but you see almost like two faces of his in the movement.
No, no, this is another one.
Okay, got it.
No, that was when they first walk into
Got it.
the scene.
I also like reading comics that are written by people who are obviously smarter than me. Like it reminds me of Fantastic Four right now by Ryan North, where you read it, and especially in the Mr. Fantastic focused issues, it's like, how did you think of this? Like, what is happening? But you love it. I love it because I like to see that type of intelligence on display. Anybody could go to Wikipedia and look up the way that chemistry works, but to be able to do that and meaningfully tell a story with it is not easy. And Al Ewing pulled it off and did something funny, heartfelt, whimsical that made me interested in a character that under anybody else's pen, pretty much, I'd probably pass.
Yeah, the science aspect of this is there's a distinct difference between knowing science and understanding it.
That's also true.
And I think that it's used well here. And I think the Ryan North example of Fantastic Four is great because it's never talking down to you in this either. It's like, hey, here's a teachable moment without shoving that down your throat is, I hate that phrase, but you know what I mean? Like where it's more integrated into the storytelling, which is hard to do with really dry science sometimes.
Well, they got me asking, like, how are they going to beat this guy? Like, what science are they going to use to beat him? And I don't know if plasma's the answer. I have no fucking clue. But that's what worked. So I guess it is. Like, sure,
Yeah,
great.
Even in that panel, Element Girl asked, "But how did you know his atomic composition would make for the right kind of gas?" I did it, but it was that, or we were both dead. So if I guessed wrong, I'd only look stupid for a second. Like it led into a punchline.
That was really good. Yeah, that was
Yeah.
good. Oh man. Yeah, this is a really easy pull for me. Despite the fact that it's Al Ewing, I won't lie, I had a lot of trepidation coming into the book for the reasons I already discussed. But Al Ewing deserves every ounce of trust that I can give to a writer. And Steve Lieber was great in this. So a perfect marriage. This is this an ongoing? Do we know?
I don't know. I feel like it could be one of those things where it's like officially 6, but let's see how it sells.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I feel like writer or creative teams at this point, especially at DC, because DC seems open to the idea. It's like, hey, come up with a good trade, but if it sells well enough, be prepared to sell more.
Sure.
Give
Yeah.
him more.
Please do. Great book. Great book. Let's see what you guys are saying. I'm gonna end the poll here now. 41% pull. That's good. 37% didn't buy or read. 13% say pass. 6% say pick of the week. Why pass? I'm curious.
And Julia Rowell in the chat, this is probably right down your alley. Based on what I know you don't like, this is the opposite of that.
Yeah.
So I think you'll enjoy this, and it seems like you're interested. So yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of fun. Excited.
Eric Rodriguez said, I will be checking in later once I have picked up my comics. Just came to like the stream. Thank you so much.
Hey.
Appreciate that. It's a reminder for everybody to hit the like button. Aaron Ruiz says, Ewing showed me his goofy side and don't think in his Venom run. It lands sometimes, and then sometimes it feels flat. That's interesting because my recollection of the Venom run, and I kind of fell off, but is that it was very like heavy. I remember the stuff with Eddie where he was traveling through time or whatever. That shit was heavy.
It was like body horror too. He's getting like ripped to shreds, right? Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
The first couple issues of that, right?
No, that was a little bit deeper into the run because the first few issues were built around Dylan Brock.
Right. That's what I'm
yeah.
thinking of.
And it was split with Rom V as well.
Yeah.
That was fun. That was a good time. Atomic Hound. Atomic Hound makes an appearance. Good to see you, buddy. Hey, friends, can't stay, but wanted to drop in to wish everybody a happy holiday. We'll be back soon. Keep reading comics, kids. We will do that. Thank you, Atomic Hound. Merry Christmas. Happy holidays.
Making his presence from the kennel.
Indeed. Venom Mark says, writing on comics, script writing books 1 and 2, which has Grant Morrison, Mark Waid, Jeff Johns, etc. Picked them up because I always wanted to know how comic book scripts are made. I don't have those. I have quite a few writing comics books like that, but I didn't know about that, so that I might need to pick that up. Sounds good. Yeah.
There's probably a lot of knowledge in that one.
It's funny though. Go ahead,
I
Tyler.
was gonna say it's probably unreadable. It's in glyphs.
It's funny because man, the way things change, right? Like a Jeff Johns on comics, how-to book is something that I would have picked up and eaten alive when I was 19, right? Multiple times I have personally through the show heard Jeff Johns say things that influence the way that I script. Like how I feel very lucky that's the truth. Like what the fuck? I don't have to buy a book. I could just talk to Jeff Johns. You know what I'm saying? Like what is life?
I've also
Go back to
learned
those
that
episodes.
there's no real script layout. Just it's collaboration, really. Sure, it helps to have a basis and a concrete form, but it's jazz kind of.
Foundation's helpful.
Foundation's helpful, and I also think You need to know the rules before you can break them. I'm a big believer of that. And I think it's really great to, if you're trying to learn how to write comics, to understand why. Choices are being made on every single page and panel. Why? That's the most important thing you need to be able to identify. Same thing with movies. Why this shot? Why this angle? Why this lighting? All that matters.
MTG says, pass for my limited budget and the number of series I'm already following monthly. Happy holidays to everyone here. That makes
Fair.
sense. Valid.
Fair. Not everything's for everyone.
An official comment from Magic the Gathering himself.
All right. Let's get on to the listener poll pick this week. That being Superman number 21. This is the book that you guys wanted us to review based on the overwhelming results from the poll. The new poll is up right now. I'm just going to run through those books real quick. Two-Face, number 2. Sam Wilson, Captain America, number 1. Batgirl, number 3. The Atom Project, number 1. Those are the books on the poll right now. Make sure you cast your vote. That'll be the first Pals polls of the new year. So this will be the first poll results we get from the new year. Separately, real quick, I also want to say thank you for voting. You know, I don't think it's been quite a year yet since we did the poll exclusively through YouTube, but it's been a success. And I really appreciate that you guys do it. So keep it up. It means a lot. It helps us, whether you know that or not. And it's a lot of fun for us. So let's get into Superman. It's written by Joshua Williamson, Dan Mora on the art, colors by Alejandro Sanchez, letters by Ariana Mayer. Superman and Superwoman, aka Lois Lane, decided to go out on a date. But of course, for two people like this, a date is not going to be Starbucks. It's going to be space. So they go to the moon for a little break from reality, which seems a little odd considering that Doomsday is at their door, quite literally. But it's quickly revealed that they can't just do that. They can't just go away and have a good time without life getting in the way, as most of us can't. And interspersed between their story, there are these little interludes, one-page interludes.
Little dates.
We'll talk about them. Sorry?
Little dates in between.
Right.
Yeah.
And then ultimately a new player enters the fray called the Aftermath, who want to take Doomsday for the crimes that Doomsday has committed against their worlds, where he, killed countless people, and they want him back. And if Superman won't turn Doomsday over, they'll kill everybody. What'd you guys make of this one?
I really enjoyed it. I love Superman Lois stories where they can kind of just. Okay, I was gonna say slow down and just be a couple, even though that's kind of what the story is about. Is that even when they're trying to slow down now that Lois has superpowers, they can't really. It's not until they actually go and get a coffee that things feel normal. But I love stuff like that. There's that one Tom King issue that I always talk about where it's of Batman, where it's Lois and Clark and Batman and Selina going on a double date to a fair. I eat that shit up. And this kind of felt like that. But it still told the story going forward. Because it's Superman trying to have a date with Lois. It's him trying to slow down. You can see he can't do it. There's too much going on. And this is him trying to grasp for some kind of control over the situation that he feels he has no control over. And that's, having to side with Doomsday or the timekeeper. I almost called him a trapper keeper. The time trapper. What is his name? There we go. Time trapper. And kind of get those things under control, and he's losing it, and he's trying to find some form of control in all the madness. And I think that's super relatable. I don't know if you guys have ever been on a date when the not the relationship's bad, but something's just going on and you're trying to go and just distance yourself from it.
Yeah.
And trying to let me just have a good time. And trying to force that makes you not have a good time because it's still there. It's still there in the back of your head. And it's this is a real human emotion that I'm kind of feeling with Superman here in the most super heroic way possible. I thought it was pretty nicely done by Williamson. and then intersperse those, those we'll talk about them, but those one pagers was great stuff.
Yeah. Uh, this was almost my pick of the week simply because of the relationship dynamics. I loved again them trying to go through all these locales and the dates that Clark has planned. Zatanna gives a private magic show. They go through to the dinosaurs. They're just talking. Lois is talking about why she misses writing. They're just connecting. They're having these bonds, and I think that's uh, it's nice to separate and distance ourselves as readers from all the fighting that's been happening. Like I think sometimes those issues can be a chore or boring, but what does here is he takes the weight off for a second, and because we're being told that in the book, I think it also plays well where it doesn't feel like, oh, we're just getting an in between issue, because uh, we need to save time or art or whatever it might be. It's literally part of the story, and then it that slowing down leads directly into the next arc, the next issue, the next problem. Oh, we're trying to fix this. We're trying to make sure that we're um, calm and de-stress. Ah, shit, here's the next big thing, and that gets cut through in every single moment that they're trying to do. They go to the gem world to just like, maybe if we go to the gem world we'll relax, bro, and then all of a sudden Amethyst and
Oh,
the
I thought
House of Onyx start fighting.
I thought of you when that popped up. I'm like, oh, Marco's
Yeah,
popping for Amethyst right now.
I popped so hard. I'm like, oh, cool. Where are they with this crystal world? That's interesting. I thought that they were like, doing some kind of simulation or something, in the Fortress of Solitude or whatever. And then my girl pops out fully armored up. I'm like, yo, let's go.
So, before I give my thoughts, I just want to grab the super chat from Entertain Me, who gave us $10. Says the JLU episodes This Little Piggy and Kid Stuff. Cersei turns Wonder Woman into a pig. Batman has to sing to save her. The Justice League had to become kids to stop a kid villain. Huh.
I
Okay.
remember those.
Those almost sound like Brave and the Bold synopses for Batman Brave and the Bold.
That's interesting. Okay. All right, Entertain Me. Since you threw $10 our way, I will make sure that I watch those. That sounds like fun. Thank you. Um, I thought this issue was cool. It contains one of my favorite panels all year. The panel of Doomsday and Superman punching each other. That
Oh,
that scene, that moment feels like it's been hanging in the back of this story since Doomsday emerged because this moment represents Lois's biggest fear. It's the death of Superman, right? And so seeing that in our face, it's like, damn, this is what's underneath them right now. Look at the cover. The cover literally shows them dining on Doomsday underneath them, right? And I think that it speaks to the real concern that she has of losing him, but also that Superman might have of like, hey, I died once against this guy, you know? And it's funny on one hand because we know that that happened 30 years ago and Doomsday has returned and been defeated many times. It's hard to make a character feel relevant like Doomsday, who had their one big shot 30 years ago. And it's like, what more can you do? You already killed Superman. You're going to kill him again? How do you make us care? Joshua Williamson is making us care. And this panel is like this is the image they want you to have in your mind. And Dan Mora did a brilliant job of bringing that back to life and making it looks as good as Dan Mora can make it look, of course, but it's got the modern vibe, but then it also looks old school. And I love how they managed to pull that off. It looks amazing.
The flat colors on it, like
That's what it is.
kind of separating from the rest of the page, really makes it jump out.
I normally don't like flat coloring in modern books, but if the book looked like this, I don't know, man. I might be happy.
I
yeah.
think he played around with that in World's Finest, actually. Yeah.
It has this nice gradient of Ben Day dots, like in the yellows around it as well. Just again giving it real cool colors, texture.
Yeah, yeah. Brilliant. The rest of the issue was cool. I kind of like the interludes, although I definitely didn't get the first one. I feel like I was missing context or something.
The Jimmy Olsen one?
Yeah.
No, that was just like that was it.
Just date
Well,
night.
why was
Just
he horrified?
they're just watching a
Watching
horror
this.
movie.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah. And Silver Banshee is probably perfectly fine watching whatever horror movie is on because she committed horrors probably as a supervillain.
Yeah.
So it was like, hey, it's almost like a very Family Guy intercut, where it's like, hey, look what this superhero people are doing. They're playing darts on the moon, and then Jimmy and Siobhan are just watching a movie.
the second one is what does Doomsday dream about, which I thought was really funny. He just dreams about killing Superman and ending the world, I guess, and that makes sense.
His date is with violence, and I thought that was kind of cute in a way.
That's so funny.
The third one is Lex and Mercy, and Lex is kind of trying to get with Mercy, and my whole thing is like, it took you to bump your head to realize that Mercy's a baddie.
Yo.
You don't shit where you eat, Sean.
Clearly, he does. He's trying.
He don't work there anymore.
Oh, all right, fair enough. He got that beard working now. Like
Word.
he's turning over a new leaf, and I love the way that Josh Williamson is setting this up because we know for a fact they need Lex back. This is all going away, and that's sad. And I'm excited to see the dominoes fall and see that whole thing play out. It's kind of like when Norman was good during the Zeb Wells Amazing Spider-Man run, and you kind of know like we're gonna get the Goblin back. But in this case, they need Lex. They didn't need the Goblin. It's just that you can't avoid that with Norman. They need Lex. They need his primal evil mind because he happens to be one of the smartest people on Earth. So I really like that.
I hope she sticks around in this role and he like has her and that becomes kind of a dynamic. That becomes something to play with for Williamson to potentially further like hurt either him or her.
You mean like keep their relationship going?
Yeah, keep the relationship going. She becomes like, a number two or something. I just feel like there's story there that you could play with.
Wow. You said demote the woman just so the man could take the spot. Jeez. Wow.
Wow, Marco. How dare you?
Let's do
She
better
was
in
all-
2025, Marco, okay?
She was all notice me, senpai. Oh, my favorite coffee.
I mean, how you been working with the woman for, 20 years or whatever? You don't know her favorite coffee? He's obsessed with killing Superman. I don't see Superman if Mercy is walking around my offices all day. I'm sorry.
Yo, and he came in with I was here to see my daughter Lena, but
Yeah.
slick, bro, slick. Oh, I was in the neighborhood, thought I'd swing by.
He turned his swag on.
Or that Briz.
It's crazy. Oh man. Yeah, fun stuff. Fun stuff. Yeah, it's an easy pull for me. Um Superman's been great, and I got to tell you, adding Dan Mora to the equation, Josh Williamson was already doing fine. Dan Mora takes everything to another level.
Double dose of Dan Demora.
I really don't understand how he does it. Like, I know I made that Santa Claus joke earlier. Where like, does he have a whole bunch of elves writing these pages for him, like drawing them? Like,
But he does have a team that does backgrounds for him, I think, right? Like a manga.
is it backgrounds or is it inks?
I don't know.
I'm not sure. I know he has a team that does assist him, but still, like, I mean, just the form of it all, like that's him.
And the manga influences really shine when Smallville with the hair, with Clark in particular, like these like structured cheek and chin.
Izzy says threads that we touched on during that fun community book club that Amin led for Superman Doomsday Hunter Prey. What threads? I've never read that series. Have you guys?
No.
I typically do not like Doomsday. I typically shy away from anything Doomsday because he always felt one note to me. And I'm liking how there's nuance here that I'm getting.
I'm one of those guys. I've said it many times. I think some characters they did their one big thing and they should like that's it. You're done. Like if it were up to me only, Doomsday would never have returned. Like that would be it. That's it.
Sean, you want to read that
Go
J
home.
Sage comment?
Jay, oh my God, that's hilarious. Jay Sage said, "Been noticing Sean likes to play in the snow." Listen, brother. First of all, you don't know me well enough to try to read me like that, okay? Second of all, you're right. Oh my goodness. Dude, it's just crazy because if you saw my mom is like completely white. I don't like my skin color is not the same as my mom's. So, I guess like I don't know, to me it's not that weird cuz I got a black dad and a white mom, you know? So, I don't know.
It is what it is.
Yeah. Um, Izzy's issue says the discussion was about how one note Doomsday is and the challenges and diminishing returns of going back to the well of him and other characters. Right. Yeah, I feel the same way about Venom. Feel similarly about Two-Face. Like, you know, they did their big thing. Carnage. Like maximum carnage. That's it. What else? What else? You know?
I'm glad I was not here for that book club. I have no interest in that book.
It, it's not like it's not even like great, certainly. I think there's really cool stuff in it. But once everybody has united to defeat Carnage, what more is there to do or say? Like he's a crazy psychotic killer. All right, we get it, you know. I just feel like there's definitely diminishing returns. That's what I get out of it.
Kevin Guidry,
Um,
mostly redheads and muscle mommies.
there you go. Got me
Calling out a,
clocked.
calling out a couple of us on the podcast here.
All right, let's end the Superman poll here. Of course it did, Jay Sage. Trust me, man. Poll 56%. Pick of the week 18. Didn't read or buy 18. Pass 6. Okay. All right. Fair enough.
Nice, good spread.
Let's get into Timeslide, number 1. It's written by Steve Fox with art by Ivan Fiorelli, colors by Frank Diamata, letters by Joe Caramagna. Now, if you're new to this, then this will be the first time you're reading one of Marvel's annual let's construct a reason to show you teases of the future of our comics. Last year, when they did this, they teased One World Under Doom, amongst other things. This year, they're teasing a lot of other shit. Features Bishop and Cable, time sliding across time.
That's
What'd you guys make of it?
It was what I expected. It really is more of like an epilogue to I believe Steve Fox did that Children of the Atom book towards the tail end of Krakoa. That was
That was Dennis Camp, brother.
that was Dennis Campton. Where?
Yeah.
Okay, so Steve Fox did do the Dark X-Men. Where was that Dark X-Men book?
Dead X-Men, Dark X-Men,
Yeah,
like that.
which Endplate was
Yeah.
in. That's where I remember.
Yeah.
Okay. So it almost felt like a vestige of that era. And fallout from that, like talking like the whiplash I got going back to like Krakoa era children and seeing that Sentinel with the X gate. I'm like, whoa, hold on, where are we? That was a little disorienting, and I felt like it was just they just needed a framework to tease a whole bunch of stuff. What is really what this book is? This book gets a big ol' it's fine from me. There wasn't like as much as I love Tempest, because I am actually a fan of the Bendis era of X-Men, and Tempest is a great character from that. I believe it was it was Uncanny, the Cyclops team. Even that's not enough to get me to really like this book. This felt fine. I was too busy seeing the Matrix to really care much for the book.
The Major. When they name dropped the bad's name, Bakuna, I rolled my eyes.
Does that translate to something?
Yeah. I
What?
don't know if you're being serious or not.
I am. I'm American.
Yeah, it's like what is it? Antidote. It's like just your cure, some kind of
Oh,
injection.
is it Spanish? Man, I sound dumb as
They're
shit today.
they're in they're in Ecuador. That's where the vault was, I think. Um,
Mm.
so seeing that just felt a little cheesy, but then the rest of it played out. I liked the dynamic um that we got. Bishop and Cable just they're going through time. They're trying to like outrun this bad. Initially, it felt really slow, kind of just explaining things to me. Um, and then we got to the first scene with the Dark Phoenix, and things felt a little different. And then we got to see Bronze. I'm like, oh wait, hey, I know this person, and it that brought me back into the book, where I started to get familiar, see familiar things, and how exploring some of those and the changes therein based on how this person Vacuna coming back in time and adjusting things was interesting. Getting to see the whole list of, I guess, upcoming events, um, if some of them play out at all.
Quite literally a list.
Yeah, and um, and then the way that they beat him, they bring him back and he destroys himself. I thought it was a clean storytelling. Nothing wrong with this. Just a good romp.
I'm glad you had so many things to say, Marco, on this one. I really, really wish Marvel would stop doing this. I don't think it's interesting.
No.
I don't think it's additive. I think when you can just like when you're literally just gonna put an itemized bullet pointed
Yo,
image that's telling me all the things that are gonna happen alleged like let's go over these because I feel like I know a majority of these. I'm sure you guys do too. The 8 Deaths of Spider-Man.
right.
Okay. One World Under Doom. That's literally the name of the event. Why would the name of the event appear on her sheet? Unless it was written by Tom Brevoort. Rise of the New Champions. We know there's a new Champions book coming. The Eternal Storm. I don't know exactly what that is, but it sounds like a reference to Storm.
Yeah, I think
The
it's when
book?
she becomes a herald, right? Isn't that in this list or something like that? She's
Yeah. Yep.
Oh yeah.
Yep. The False Metal. That's being dealt with in Wolverine, I want to say. The Saladin Ahmed Wolverine book.
Yep.
Who waits within the last egg? That I don't know about.
They're in the shots of the time breaking in the background. You can see the Krakoan 5, and there's one last egg from Krakoa left over, and they're looking at it. So I think something's there.
It's wrong slide.
Oh no, he's even wronger now.
Strange of Asgard, Doctor Strange going to Asgard. Galactic leaders assassinated. That doesn't mean anything to me.
That could be Imperial related.
That
They
makes sense.
Yeah,
they do mention something Imperial, right? Like 2025.
yeah. New John Hickman
Yeah.
book coming out.
Yep.
Yeah.
The Time of Strife. That means nothing to me. Dormammu invasion of Earth. Okay.
Straightforward.
Yeah. Miss Marvel second Genesis. That sounds pretty cool. Because Miss Marvel had her secondary mutation. She was reborn as a mutant, second Genesis. As long as they put a creative team behind it and do something cool and stop doing mini series with that character, let's do it.
Is this where they change her power set?
Ooh.
Have they not already? I thought they
No,
did.
she's still got
No.
Embiggen. She doesn't have the movie power set yet.
And those miniseries have been pretty fun.
That's what I was saying. Like when I saw a Miss Marvel second Genesis, I'm like, oh, that sounds like a trade.
Yeah.
Ultimate Incursion. Yes. Bring that on.
Already, dude? They're going away?
Some preview pages already came out for the free comic book day. It has Miles on it pretty prominently.
I like that. Who is the man with the hammer? Thor, I thought. I don't fucking know.
Steve.
Steve who?
Steve Trevor is also in the Marvel books now, Sean. I hate to break it to you.
Oh, all right. I asked Steve who, and Marco had no response.
I had to ad lib.
Yeah. The Ghost Fist. That's Danny Rand is coming back.
Oh, wait, that was the thing that was in one of the QR code ones, right?
Yep. Yep.
Oh shit.
Mhm. Where is Spider-Man? I don't fucking know. What became of Emily Blight? I'm not sure.
Is that a Ghost Rider thing?
I don't know.
I think.
Like PKJ's Ghost Rider or
No, no, no. The Percy was it? Is it Percy that's doing Ghost Rider?
Emily Bright. Someone who manipulates magic. Doctor
okay.
Strange, Strange Academy.
Oh yeah, that's a Strange Academy thing. That's gonna be the Doom Academy stuff. Yep.
Oh, all right. The Will of Doom is the Will of Doom.
Is it
Utgard.
a death will though?
Hmm?
Is he gonna die? It's just the will, the last will and testament of
Oh.
I
Doom.
see. I see.
Utgard Rises, that's Immortal Thor. Age of Revelation. I don't know.
That's gonna be
Apocalypse.
that's the Doug Ramsey apocalypse. His name is Revelation now. Yeah, and we get a
Very
couple
good.
glimpses of that in the backgrounds here. He's extra pale. He's like a golden Oreo of apocalypse.
Oh, that's who that guy was. The bots.
Yeah, yeah,
Right?
that's in that bronze couple pages where bronze shows
Right.
up. Yeah,
Right.
which made me think, are we going back to like an Age of Apocalypse sort of thing? Because we also see Age of Apocalypse Sabretooth in one of the backgrounds.
That's not the
Yeah.
son.
That what? What's
Wasn't there a son of of Apocalypse?
There was that. Remember that book right after the Fall of Krakoa, where it was like, who's going to be the next apocalypse?
Yes. Yes. Yes.
And it was a whole bunch
That
of
is-
people. It's Doug Ramsey who
I
is
see.
the current apocalypse. Yeah.
The last few teases are Beware of the Spider something. Don't know what that is. Who would trade away immortality? I don't know.
Who would?
And XVX.
Oh shit.
That sounds dumb.
Yeah.
Bro, are we about to get that XVX?
Didn't we just
Yes.
have that last week? Are we in the middle of an XVX?
I think
thing?
we're
That's right.
having it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
And 3K Gene Bomb.
Damn, they could even pay for 4K, bro. That's crazy.
But let me break that down in another way and see if this sounds disgusting to you. KKK Gene Bomb.
Did not even think that.
It's funny. I was driving down the highway in New York, and you know they have the cleanup sponsorships you could do. One of them was sponsored by something called 3K. It was like 3,000 Kings. I did not look into it, but it was like highway cleanup sponsored by 3K. I'm like, oh no.
I feel like I bring this up every time I see 3K, and I'm just amazed at the fact that that's still a thing. Like, I mean, they went with it, and so it is what it is. But no one proofread that 3K. Don't look great.
Luna
Um,
says this is giving 5G energy.
Yeah, yeah.
It's that that Flashpoint thing with Batman, Flashpoint Batman looking at the board, right? Chalkboard. But
One
like
of
that
my
was
favorites.
interesting.
Yeah.
And it was also at least drawn. You know what I mean? Like,
Like, yeah, like guys, if you have not purchased Timeslide #1, you can probably find this page somewhere on social. You should see it. It's literally a list of things to go buy next year. Marvel, can we please just tell the stories? In what world is this an interesting thing to do?
the only people getting anything out of this book is Bleeding Cool.
Right.
This generates
Yeah,
a good
Rich
12
Johnson.
articles at least.
Yeah, I just don't get it. Like, granted, everybody involved tried. I thought the Fiorelli art was pretty cool, especially in the X-Men segment where they fight against Dark Phoenix. But for the most part, there's just no reason to buy this, especially at what's the price point? $6.99? Like,
What?
it's like
Too
it's not
many.
it's not a thing that we should be getting.
I paid $6.99 for this?
Banksy Main says the most interesting part of this is that they keep insisting on referencing the first Krakoa era.
Yes.
I wonder what kind of plans for a second Krakoa era are in the future. I'm going to
Leave it
say
alone.
that is just copium by the writers.
Yeah. Yeah.
Literally. And it's totally unnecessary because what it does is it baits everybody who is desperate for that to happen into thinking that it's going to happen, and it ain't happening.
Dude, when I play Marvel Rivals and they have the interstitial talking between characters and all the X-Men are still on Krakoa in this world and they reference it and I'm like, "Ah, am I missing Krakoa already? Damn."
Are they really?
Yeah, Krakoa, there's allegedly a Krakoan map coming out too.
What?
That's cool.
But
I like
apparently it's good. What do we do?
Pass. I have to pass. I don't like books like this. It's important, I guess, to the future of Marvel, but it just feels like if marketing, like it feels like if the marketing department put a comic book together. That's what it feels like. And I have no interest in reading comics put together by the marketing department. But I also know that I've read a lot of comics put together by Marvel's marketing department. Hard fucking pass.
The most interesting thing for me to come out of this was at the end seeing the preview for Avengers 25 and Exterminatrix is on it. Weeblet from Original Sin, and so is like Madcap and Mr. Hyde and Dreadnought, and I was like, oh, okay, cool. I can look forward to a different book. I don't need this one. This is a pass for me too.
Damn. All right. I had fun.
It's fine to not like it, Marco. Just because we didn't doesn't mean you can't.
No, I had a good time with this. I had fun. You know, this was it didn't feel like it had weight to it. It was just a thing that we went through. It was a story told, and something that sometimes that's okay for a comic. It doesn't have to ladder up into things, and it can tell a singular story. Some of the things that we've talked about are feel heavy-handed, but it was enjoyable.
Cole says $6.99 is crazy. JLU is $3.99. In that perspective, that's rough.
Hey, you know what? Pass.
It's also, to be fair to the book, it's double sized. So, they're not selling you the $6.99 price point without giving you
More
matching
ads?
pages.
Oh,
But that's the problem, right? Everything that Steve Fox is trying to do and what Ivan is trying to do, like, hats off. It's not about them. I just feel like they were given a job that doesn't allow them to creatively flex. Like, you have to tell a story that in the middle of your story, your characters arrive at a place where they're looking at a fucking spreadsheet practically. That's not fun.
it's a hey, get the bag, guys. Glad you got the bag out of this, but yeah, it's this is a Corpo book. Corpo book.
Marowak Escuro says this is a preview of Sean Stack. Want to bet? Because I ain't buying fucking Avengers again.
Even with Eliminatrix on it,
I don't even know who that is.
the leather mommy with that teamed up with Midas.
Excuse me?
It's a Grant
In
Morrison
what?
creation
Sorry?
In what though?
in Original Sin.
Oh yeah, Wolf, man. That like I don't even know where I pulled that from just to remember who that is. And now I'm looking at the cover there, and I do remember her. But nah, man, actually, because I have no relationship to her.
Let's wait for a good variant.
Fair enough. But we did learn they're doing that's the free comic book day. Fantastic Four, giant size X-Men. That should be fun.
That looked cool. Yeah, some of the
Yeah.
previews here look cool.
Isn't it weird Marvel putting money, efforts towards X-Men and Fantastic Four in comics now?
It's funny, man. Yeah, because I feel like if you've been in the mix for a while, you know about those dark years. There was a I don't know if a decade is appropriate, but nearly a decade where the X-Men were not in a good spot
And as an Inhumans fan, I'm feeling it even again now.
because they're doing it to them. Oh boy. Charlotte, Little Miss Marvel says, "Hi pals, hi chat. Hope you had a good Christmas. Right back at you. Hope you did as well. Thank you for being here." Izzy's issue says these are all on Batman's chalkboard where he crossed out 5G. Dude, I don't know why I like that one so much more. It's because, you know what it is? It's because that's not actually meant to be a tease of the real future. It's just him going through shit to figure out something else. And I don't even think any of that stuff happened.
But even the layout of it adds character. It's haphazard. It's hectic. It's very Pepe Sylvia from It's Always Sunny. Like, there is storytelling in the creation of it, instead of a iCarly looking ass iPad with text on it. Like there's no storytelling there in that.
It's crazy, dude. Yeah, like there's just nothing to this. Gavin Guidry says, "Does it say anything about me drawing Gambit?" No, but it should have. Tease me, creative teams. Don't tease me with bullet points.
I don't know. We're Gambit haters here, Sean. Remember?
Yeah, heavy Gambit haters apparently.
Apparently. Um Uncanny Suit says, Inhuman fan, so you're the one. That's in reference to Tyler.
So someone
me.
has to be.
Yep, that's me.
It's always one.
Love Medusa.
All right. Let's get into the one image book that we're going to be talking about, Giant Generator book. I want to give a special thank you to Image Comics for providing us with the review copy of Dust to Dust, #1, written by J.G. Jones and Phil Bram, art by J.G. Jones, letters by Jackie Marzan. Before I say anything else, all right, I want to say that I love J.G. Jones. I think that J.G. Jones as an artist is tremendous. J.G. Jones was one of the first artists I got to interview that I really cared about, and he was so pleasant and nice. And I didn't expect that for some reason. I have no basis for that whatsoever. You just get I just got a feeling of my own, and I met him, and it was one of those great moments that you can always recall. So seeing J.G. Jones on art here, there's no way I wasn't going to buy this. And from a visual standpoint, I got what I want out of J.G. Jones. It looks like a J.G. Jones book. It feels like it from a visual standpoint. I love what he does visually. That being said, from a storytelling standpoint, there was absolutely nothing here for me. Hopefully, you guys were able to drag more out of this than I was. But personally, it felt like a lot of people standing around talking about things that had no context. I felt like they didn't come together to form a narrative that I cared about.
So in the beginning of this book, they talk about how this kind of Dust Bowl area, small town, there's a bit of a drought. It's hard to extract water from it. That's how I felt trying to extract joy from this.
Damn.
I just found it to be super dry. It felt like I was playing Red Dead Redemption and I just stayed idle and I was listening to NPC chatter.
Yeah.
Nothing. It looked good, but I didn't get anything from the story. This did nothing for me, and I was trying. And I'm with you too, Sean. I like J.G. Jones. I imagine I think of those J.G. Jones Final Crisis covers, iconic in my opinion.
Yeah.
And honestly, some of the first event books I ever bought for DC. So it holds a special place in my heart. But I thought even the art, the art was good, but I thought the storytelling in the art wasn't good. I thought it was a lot of good art in snapshots, but no real movement and no real storytelling within those snapshots. It was like I was flipping through Polaroids rather than reading a comic. So it just, the cover made me think there would be some kind of mystic element, some horror or something to it. This was just people talking. I don't even know what to get out of it. I was a little perplexed, honestly, by the end of this book. Not my bag.
I like this. It felt just Western adventure. Not adventure quite yet, but the problems of a small town that made the story feel weighty because these people are interconnected. There's something as simple as water is becoming worrisome for the town and for its people and for the denizens here. And so this sheriff is our hero. I thought this initially was going to be following the family that was leaving. And when it became the sheriff going back into town, I was like, oh, okay, that was I didn't read the solicit for this. That was nice to see that it subverted what I thought this was going to be in that instance. And then for just seeing the compassion of this felt like maybe not so much, the hard boiled westerns, but um, what is that? Little House on the Prairie. Like you're you're just um, you're just living in this world. You have these problems, and you're trying to make sense of a new age that's incoming. And so I found this to be a very especially with the art, almost melancholy. And I'm interested to see what happens. Like there's a storm coming, and that's like the big, that's the big impending doom at the moment. But otherwise, it's going to be. But what are these people's relationships? How do they survive this storm? I definitely think and agree that it's slow to get anywhere. It takes its time, but um, it's a different era. I didn't mind that. I was immersed enough, and I like that this wasn't color. I thought that that helped to send the point further that we're in a different setting. We have to think differently about what's going on here. Um, the photographs that this woman is probably taking even are just in black and white in the same way that these stills and these instances of these people's lives are. And so I definitely got a lot more out of it. But if you're not somebody who's gonna be uh, patient for this story, you have to give it the chance. I don't think this is for you. Even in this first issue, it just drags.
Man, I'm bummed out about this one because if you guys heard the pals previews on Monday, I talked about how this could be a sleeper pick purely on J.G. Jones. He did a book with Mark Waid called Strange Fruit in 2015.
You've talked about this, yeah.
I adore that book. I think it's great. And I feel like it's hard to say what I'm about to say because I don't know the chops of J.G. Jones as a writer, and I certainly don't know who Phil Bram is. But it just didn't feel like we had someone in the driver's seat who understood how to tell a dynamic first issue comic book story. Like if this were the first 5 minutes of a TV show or a movie or whatever, like okay, fine. But in a comic book where you're asking me to pay $3.99 and I'm only gonna get 20 pages, something has to happen. And this book wasn't even interested in trying to make something happen.
I think you were right on Palace Previews though, Sean. It is a sleeper book, in so much that it put me to sleep.
Damn.
Yeah, I'm with you, Sean, because we talk about the art of the first issue, and there's great art in this, but I think the structure isn't there for a first issue. I couldn't really name you the characters. I don't know. They don't know why they even are talking to each other. We keep jumping back to that family in the Olsen family in the beginning of the book, throughout, but we also leave them early on. So I'm like, should I stay with them? Like, do I need to invest in them? And the cliffhanger at the end is supposed to be for them. So I'm like, all right, do I supposed to care about this family that's leaving our main area? And even the idea of like this giant storm being the cliffhanger, they didn't do much for me because they talked about it enough. It didn't have a mystery.
Yeah.
It I think it did one of these like cardinal sins for storytelling where it did, and then this happened, and then this happened, right? The only moment where we got a but was, or even introduced to a potential but was, when the big bucks guy, and to your point, I don't remember his name, confronts the sheriff about, hey, you let these guys off my land, they still owed me money to pay off the mortgage, and what's going on? Your job should be to abide by the law, and that is the law, and they owe me money. You can't just let them go. But then that's the only tension you really get here.
I have to pass. I hate to do it.
Mm.
Shine Generator, it's JT Jones, but I am the harshest critic on the podcast of issue ones. That's the contract. I'm not signing the contract. I'm rejecting the contract.
Yeah, it's a mark me down as a pass to Marco.
Damn.
It wasn't for me. I think that there is some good art in this, but it was lacking in storytelling.
Yeah.
I,
Go ahead.
sorry, I'm gonna give it another issue. I'm gonna see what happens. I definitely think there's a lot of legwork to be done, but I trust the creators and I trust that Jen Jetter is gonna put out a good book. This will have to prove me otherwise.
And in Cole in the chat said it started to build tension but didn't have a payoff in the single issue. I trust Giant Generator, and their books always need room to breathe, and they've earned my trust so far. So I think Cole's in the same boat as you there.
That's totally fair, and I've historically felt that way. But it's like when you read that first issue of Tin Can Society and you compare it to this, pace is completely a completely different beast. You know, I don't care what kind of story you got. Make me hang on your every word. Watch the first. I just saw Interstellar the other day. Watch the first hour of Interstellar.
IMAX.
Like it's unfortunately not.
Oh, okay.
No, I wish. This is like my seventh time seeing it anyway.
Oh,
But
okay.
I'm an insane Christopher Nolan fan. Not insane enough to be able to get a fucking ticket to IMAX apparently, but you know what are you gonna do? But like it's about the same things, right? The Dust Bowl, you know, people in trouble based on the land, but it manages to really, really make you care about all those things by rooting it heavily in this one family, and giving that family personality and character. These people were dry. They're as dry as the environment they're in. That's not exciting. All right, let's see. A few more comments. Unfortunately, like I told you guys earlier, because of my being sick, I wasn't able to go get my comics. So we can't do the stack today.
Hold on to your numbers for the new year.
Yeah. And there are going to be some big numbers because I'm going to have to buy everything I missed from this week.
Good point.
Damn.
So this might be
shit.
the biggest stack of all time.
And then it's all downhill from there because it's never going to get that big all year. You'll feel great.
You're skewing the numbers.
Might be right. Banksy Main says 0. Well, Banksy Main, you win the stack today. Oh man.
Too bad your
comics
prize is nothing because he has nothing to give you at this point.
Yeah, I have nothing to give you except a no prize. What's up, Comics Embrace? Good to see you. James Jones, I'm sorry, dude. I don't have it. I put everything I had to be able to make sure I was on the show today.
James, you should have known he didn't have any. You didn't ring him up.
Giant size stack for the new year. Yes, near. Giant size stack. I can't wait. Giant size stack number 1.
Hey yo, let's go.
Libro Paradiso says Hush number 1 will have a 1 out of 1,000 signed by Lee and Loeb. Some customers in my LCS have expressed strong interest in it. What's the price on something like that?
One for 1,000, like one with 100 is what, $100 usually.
Yep.
So if that tracks, that's a K right there.
1 million. Oh,
Oh, okay.
What kind of LCS you got, bro? Damn.
Oh,
They're dropping racks at the LCS?
I mean, because they're going to be buying over 1,000 issues. Actually, 1,000 issues is a lot for one comic shop.
yeah, it's a lot for a
But
single
Hush
comic.
2, number 1?
No,
So,
dude.
Like a Midtown Comics will have this.
I could see a world where this is like incentivized in a different package. Like it's 1,000, but not 1,000 of this book. Buy X amount of this, X amount of that. Reach
DC
1,000 of DC, get this.
That makes sense. I feel like they've expressed that that's how they've done it in the past too. So yeah, that definitely makes
That
sense.
makes more sense, yeah.
Yeah. Nier's asking us if we're excited for a potential Imperial Guard book.
That's the one we never got, right? That's the one that Hickman's talked about and wanting to do. And that tease has to be for an Imperial Guard book, right? There's nothing else it could be for.
I agree with you, but what strikes me strange is that it says Jonathan Hickman presents. And I don't fully feel like that's like doesn't feel like they're investing in saying this is written by Hickman.
Or is it like his Doom, where it's a one shot?
Could be. I just don't understand why they wouldn't announce the artist.
Agree. I think that's weird too. Yeah.
Like if Hickman's set the artist is obviously going to be set.
I would hope so.
Tell us who the fuck it is.
It's a secret. JR to be announced. Hot off Spider-Man.
I mean, I love the Shi'ar. Big fan. So I like Jonathan Hickman. Honestly, I think Caselli could be a great pick for this.
Could Laraz maybe come back?
Caselli's a little busy right now with Ultimate stuff. Laraz is doing Spider-Man. So I'm trying to think who's freed up. Man, get imminent out of retirement.
Well, Laraz has been. Well, so what did Laraz do this year? Blood Hunt,
Blood Hunt.
the Mark Miller shit. I think that was this year. And that's it. And now we know Laraz will be on ASM. That doesn't start. We still have a little bit of time. So depending on when Laraz could have been offered the project, he could be on it.
Good. He
I
could.
could see it.
I just need to see my boy Gladiator get some action, man. I love Gladiator.
Gladiator's the boy.
Kid Gladiator too? Great.
Yeah. Luna says, "Did you hear that CEO of Sony said Craven is a great movie, but it failed because the critics are mean?"
Ooh.
I did. I have a lot of thoughts about that. Probably won't get to it on the main show. I'll just say this.
You saw it?
Hell no. I have thoughts
Oh.
about the statement.
Ah.
There's certain shit, like Marco, you know how like you don't need to put your hand on a stove to know it's hot?
Or yeah, just like how hot?
No, like you don't need like if you put your hand on a stove, it's gonna be hot, right?
Right.
If I look at a piece of shit, I know it doesn't smell good.
Yeah, I don't need to go to the movies to see Craven to know it sucks. This dude saying this is hilarious because other than Venom 1, they haven't produced a single movie that people have largely enjoyed. So how dare you say that Craven's good when you clearly are not a good barometer of what is quality at all?
He at least would have the knowledge enough to be like, yeah, we can't do another one of these. It's going to get destroyed at the box office again.
But the problem is he said whether it's good or not.
Sure, yeah. I thought Madam Web was good, but that's the me thing.
You don't think it's good though, do you? You think it's fun. You enjoyed it for yourself.
I thought it was a fun movie. I think some of the acting is bunk wild in it. But I think there are some actually good shots in the movie that look good. But as a whole, it is a good bad movie.
I think it's also hilarious for those of us who are in the know that he would say this, considering that we know for a fucking fact that they have to make these movies. They have to make them to retain the rights. So don't try to say that you're not going to make them. You know you have to make them.
Has there also been rumors that Sony's thinking about selling the Spider-Man back to Spider-Man rights to Disney? I mean, that's always been a rumor, I guess.
Yeah. There was a Hollywood Reporter article debunking all that, where it was talking about how there was no intention of stopping the train. It might have been Variety, whichever one it was. There's no intention of stopping the train. This guy's talking out of his ass. They cannot stop making these. Sony, was it Sony? Who owns the would have been Warner Brothers. The rights to the Lord of the Rings I believe it's WBD.
Yes, Warner has most of the rights, but I think the rights to the actual IP is some kind of Saudi Arabian thing at this point. But
that's sad. But the point I'm trying to make is that they just came out with the animated War of Rohirrim or whatever, and that was made because they had to get something out, otherwise they were going to lose the rights.
And that's why they've announced more Lord of the Rings to come down the pike.
Yep.
That are just one and dones, maybe. We'll see. I have a question for you, Sean.
Yeah.
Since there's no stack, but I'm going to give you a soapbox if you need it.
Please.
The Odyssey. The new Christopher Nolan. This is not comic book related, but I know you're a fan. Christopher Nolan announced he was doing an adaptation of The Odyssey with all his best friends. Coming in 2027. What does that do for you?
Does a lot, man. I'm really excited. I have no problem or shame in admitting that I never read The Odyssey. Just never came up in my life. But this is a great opportunity to learn about it. Oppenheimer was based on true events. It was a brilliant movie that shattered me. Anybody who's entrenched in my life knows that I was calling them, talking about how much this movie like hurt me. Um, I'm ready for Nolan to do that to me again. You know,
Honestly, check out the Odyssey. Like, there's some good translations out there that like it is classic storytelling. It's the heroic journey in its inception. Superheroes don't exist without it. So I think it'll be interesting to see how he goes about this.
yeah, I think for me, I'm gonna pause on reading the book until I see the movie. Since it's so close to release, I want to enjoy it as the movie and then work backwards from
Okay.
there. But I will read it.
Well, 2026. Damn.
2026 it's coming out?
July 17th, 2026 in theaters after a 2025 production
That's
start date.
not a lot of
Beautiful.
time to make the
Beautiful.
Odyssey. We're talking Hydra, Cyclopses. We're talking like just ancient Greek mythology. Like that's what it's exciting to me.
Jesus.
This like as a kid, I loved this shit. My mom used to make me watch the old Ray Harryhausen movies, like Jason and the Argonauts, with the stop motion, skeletons and cyclopses and stuff like that. So like seeing what a modern take on that would look like, I'm hyped for it. And I hope it is a modern, like it is just the story adapted. I hope it's not like a modern telling of the Odyssey. I hope it's like the Odyssey as an adaptation. Because that seems so outside of Nolan's wheelhouse that it's interesting. Has
Right.
he done the most period piece thing he did was what? The Prestige?
Dunkirk.
Oh, Dunkirk too, yeah.
Dunkirk, yeah.
Oh, I love Dunkirk. Dunkirk's great.
Interstellar definitely happened.
Maybe not yet. So his take on, something that feels more like a Ridley Scott property is going to be interesting.
I will be seated for any Christopher Nolan movie that comes out while I'm alive. That's just how it is. So I can't wait. It's going to be brilliant. However he adapts it, whatever he does is going to be great as far as I'm concerned. I did want to show off the gift that I got from Steve Canaris while we're still here. I have no idea what's in this. I pre-opened it just so that I wouldn't have to like do all that busy work. But thank you, huge thank you to Steve Canaris for sending me whatever this is about to be. Let's see what he sent my way.
God, I hope
Oh,
it's not. I
no,
hope it's not
smut.
Anthrax.
Better not be smut.
I went to a deadly material. Marco went to porn. Jeez.
Let's see. What do we have here? So, okay, this is some old school shit. Oh, wow.
Oh, cool.
Oh,
Wow. RoboCop versus the
That's
Terminator.
Miller, right?
It's Miller and Simonson.
Yeah. Oh, they got that
Holy
Simonson chunk on those shoulders there.
Yo, this is so cool. And so it looks like he sent me issues 1, 2, 3, and 4. Yep, that's what it looks like. Miller and Simonson on all of them. That is crazy. What a creative team. And then the best part, look at this shit, man. I love old
Yeah.
ads, bro.
Yeah, man.
Predator 2.
How's the smell on it?
You know what? Smells pretty good.
Oh no, like a good comic book smell. I've had bad comic book smell, but like good
No,
comic book smell is
It's a
good.
good comic book.
Yeah.
smell.
Like you know what you want? Like a musty thing. Like
Oh,
it's
the worst is
been
when
in the
you get it
basement
from,
for a
like,
while.
I don't mind a little must. Cigarettes is the issue. If you get if you had
Oh.
a smoker, those comic books are like filters for cigarette smoke, where it like reduces the grade and stuff like that because you can smell it on it. It changes the color too.
I just refreshed the stream, and it got up to the moment where Sean's just going,
Hey, huge shout out, Steve Canaris. That is incredible. I can't wait to dive in. I think Terminator and RoboCop are the shit. I love Terminator. It's my favorite franchise. I have no idea what to expect from this, but I appreciate you sending it my way. Thank you, brother.
I know you're a Terminator head. I didn't know your stance was on RoboCop.
I think RoboCop is awesome. The first movie is great. There is a clip from the movie that I won't repeat, but everybody who is a friend of mine entrenched in my life has seen this clip because it's so fucking funny. You guys know, I won't say what it is, but you know the dad from that
From
70s show?
yeah, Red. Yeah,
Yeah.
It's the
he's a
scene
villain.
where he goes into the room and he gets the girls out in a funny way. You got to look
I
it
gotta
up.
rewatch this. I gotta rewatch this. Yeah.
It's a classic. I love it. I can't wait to read these. Thank you so much, Steve. That's beautiful. Um, Sig Slayer Station comic book headquarters says Terminator is dope. Hell yeah, dude. Absolutely.
I think both of those guys have been Mortal Kombat characters.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Well, I don't remember RoboCop, but I definitely remember
Oh, I
Terminator.
remember RoboCop happening for sure.
Which game was that?
Two ago, 2 or 3 ago.
Because I stopped playing the Mortal Kombat's a little while ago, so I could very easily just not know.
It was
But
Mortal Kombat 11 DLC.
nice. Banksy Main says, "Got to get those NECA RoboCop versus Terminator figures to go with it now." Listen,
Yeah.
bro. You think I got comics bucks for things like that? I don't. I don't.
I just found the scene.
You did?
Marco would buy that for $1.
Oh man. Um, let's see. What are you guys saying? Near says I'd be down to see any Nolan film. I'd be curious to see what it's about. When I was younger, I watched an old TV adaptation of The Odyssey. Oh my. That must have been long.
Tell him to send
Marco's
it to
having
me.
his own fun.
Yeah. I found it. I just wanted to.
Just watching
now I share
RoboCop
it.
now.
That scene is just funny, man.
Marco, have you seen RoboCop?
No, never.
Oh, okay.
Oh boy. All right, guys.
Okay, I remember this now.
Yes, dude. That
Succinct.
very much so. Very much so. The next time that we're going to be live with you is this Saturday at 10:15 a.m. Eastern. We are going to blow the roof off of 2024 with the Pallies. We're going to close things off in style the way we do every year. There are so many more of you here now than there were the last time we did it that I'm really excited for you guys to be a part of it. I think the interactivity is going to be huge. I think we're going to have a great time. I hope you guys show up for it. We're going to be doing not only the awards portion for creators, but also the predictions portion for ourselves. So we're going to reveal the winners and losers of the predictions from last year
Bless you.
and do our predictions for 2025. So we will see you for all of that. Hope you guys are doing well. Thank you so much for tuning in. Until next time, take care, guys.